All right, dude. Everyone is talking about it. Tiger King.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
Not going to do it.
Nope. 7 hours of your life. 7 hours of your life.
I have very little value for my time, but I value it more than watching that.
No, I'm telling you. There is so many what the heck moments in that entire thing. The first episode you get through, you're like, oh, it's an interesting documentary. And then after that, I don't know. It's to understand the memes. You are going to be that guy left out if you do not.
I was that way with The Walking Dead for 9 seasons. They were in season 9 when I started.
I've never seen an episode.
That's a whole conversation for a different day.
Tell you what,
there's one good
I'll
thing.
watch a couple episodes of The Walking Dead if you watch Tiger King.
Well, that's not fair because there's a couple good ones in The Walking Dead, and then they all suck.
Okay.
There's one valuable thing I picked up from the memes of this Tiger King thing, though.
What's that?
For $2,000, I can get a tiger. So I know where my government tax refund is going now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not really.
All right, man. We need to talk about some actual truck and 4x4 stuff.
Well, tigers are off-road.
Well, I guess they are. You could ride one,
dude. I couldn't. I'd probably crush it.
It's time to hit the trail, lock in those hubs, and throw it into low range. Because you are listening to Wheelin' with Keith and Johnny Orange, broadcasting from the Thin Line Off-Road Studio. They're here to talk about 4x4s, trucks, and everything to do with enjoying the great outdoors. Buckle up. Here's your hosts, Keith and Johnny Orange.
So what prompted watching this was you just passed a tiger sanctuary and you're in Florida or something? I mean, didn't you guys post a picture with a tiger when you were down there? Or did she do that last time?
No, that'd be the fiance.
Yeah.
So my mom has a place in Florida.
Wait a minute.
What?
Didn't that lady cut her husband up and feed her to a tiger? Your fiance's petting a tiger?
Allegedly.
I'm just saying. She posted pictures with the tiger.
So.
Watch out.
My mom has a place in Florida, and it is just a couple miles from one of those big cat rescue places.
Did not know that when we visited.
But these places are apparently all over the place, and the whole Tiger King thing. And actually, I'm amazed that the one that's next to my mom's house is not there. Now, of course, everybody's probably wondering, what the heck was I doing traveling to Florida?
Yeah, I mean, why would anyone want to go there?
No, I love Florida.
The warm weather's nice.
Yeah, the social distancing and things like that.
They got great diving, too.
They do.
Yes.
My mom was kind of stranded down there when this whole thing started. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple things. She was alone and kind of freaking out about that. And the second thing was that she had several major things go wrong with her house that needed to be repaired pretty, rapidly.
Yeah.
And she could go and hire a handyman or something like that. But at the same point, my fiance, who is, seasonal depression, stuff like that, and she was like, I'm going to be more comfortable down there. So I said, all right. So we packed everybody in the car. I drove her and the kids down to Florida.
In the tractor?
What's that?
Took a Chevy tractor, did you?
No, we didn't.
In the car?
We didn't take the Chevy tractor. We took Project Excursion.
Oh, okay.
And I did find out you can drive from here to Central Florida in that thing on 2 tanks of fuel.
Nice.
One fuel stop in the middle. Use rubber gloves. We packed lunches with us. We didn't interact with anybody.
Couple hoses, just running out the window when you got to take a leak.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, a lot of hand sanitizer.
Bottles.
It was good. We were fine. Got down there. I stayed there a few days, fixed some stuff on our house. I actually left the family down there and then headed back myself.
That was rude.
Yeah, it was. For them to stay down there and enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Project Excursion on the way down, I was freaking out. I thought I dropped an injector or something.
Ooh.
It was hiccuping and farting and backfiring, and it was just...
Bad fuel or something?
I think so. Producer Andrew's always telling me not to buy fuel from a certain place, and I am pretty sure that I actually got skunked on a tank of fuel because the whole way down there, this thing, I thought it was going to die.
Diesel 911.
I put some of that in it, and it kind of got better, but it took about 3 tanks of fuel. By the time I got the third tank of fuel, boom, she was running good again.
Nice.
Speaking of Project Excursion, I may have finally came up with an idea for what I'm going to do. Now, you saw, I think, on Facebook that I was thinking about cutting some body parts out.
Yeah, I was telling you, not body parts. You could take the whole quarter of the thing.
Well, that was my plan.
Yeah.
I know a guy down in Central Florida that has a Super Duty junkyard. It's kind of a private thing on his own property, but he's got, at any given time, maybe 30 rigs. And I called him up while I was down there, and I said, hey, do you got any excursions? And he says, I've got 2 right now. I said, all right. I said, I need a quarter panel. And he says, no problem. Gave me a price, just smoking price.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'm going to plan on stopping there on my way home. Okay, cool. Pull in. We go walking out there. The one excursion's completely rotted out. There's just, you're not going to save anything from it.
Yeah.
He said it came from up in, I think he said New York or something. The other excursion, heavy front end wreck, frames bent real bad.
Yeah.
Body is mint. The body shell, not a rust spot. It's got one little dent in the front from the wreck.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this thing, and he gave me a great price on it. And I'm seriously thinking about body swapping the Excursion now, because it would take care of the rockers, the quarters, floors.
Nice.
I mean, anything underneath this thing.
That's kind of where I'm at with Pegasus. At one point, I was just going to patch the floors and what was there. And unfortunately, it's going to be easier to body swap it than it would be to repair what's there at this point. Well, it's pretty bad in a lot of spots.
And as you've seen this week, and I've posted on Wheelin on our actual page, Project FJ or the Brat Pack FJ60.
Yeah, I love what you've done with the interior. Saw that on my way in. It's beautiful.
There's no interior.
Yeah, there's so much air and movement in there. I mean, there's no seats, there's no carpet, nothing.
I took and I stripped her all out. The family is really attached to this one. If it was up to me, I probably would have taken and retired it and built something else by now. But everybody wants me to keep this one around. And so I got looking at it and I says, if I take and fix up the body on this, I do need to pull the body off the frame to do some frame patching on it. It's going to tell me whether or not I want to mess with a body swap on Project Excursion. It's kind of a, test run, basically. So that's where I'm at. That's kind of our 4x4 talk or whatever right now. That's or not 4x4 talk. That's our, whatever they call it.
I don't know.
that's our news.
There's so much new stuff going on. I mean, I don't even recognize this here. I mean, we're on opposite sides where we normally are. Actually, we're normal. To them, we're opposite.
Do we need to talk about this? What's going on here?
Do we want to, or do we want to leave them hanging at least till next commercial break?
All right, we can do that. All right, is it that time already?
I have no idea. I'll go.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
Johnny Orange is sitting there looking at producer Andrew, but any case. So yeah, I'm back from Florida.
Welcome.
The excursion's running great.
Nice.
I've ripped into FJ60. Having this time off has been a blessing a little bit, and in certain ways. What? Yeah. You're like, I don't know. What?
I haven't touched anything. I've driven the Jeep twice.
Wow, I really had to bite my tongue on that one.
Yeah, I know. We did a whole episode about that, and I haven't touched anything.
All right.
The intention's there. I mean, it's ready to go. It's just I haven't, I've been working on some other stuff. I haven't been going anywhere. There's one place
you haven't touched the XJ?
I mean, I opened the door and closed it once
you haven't
to
touched
show somebody.
Pegasus?
I drove it twice.
You haven't touched yourself?
No.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I got nothing. That's after show talk. What's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, all right. If you want to listen to us in the after show, Patreon.com.
We were not going to be discussing that.
We're going to talk all about Johnny Orange and his, his activities. So
no, I really do need to get going on that. It's just, working on other stuff. Yeah, I've had the intention, I said this once before, trying to pick up some old hobbies. And I've been doing a lot more cooking.
Yeah.
I've now got every cast iron pan that I own restored.
Nice.
Except one. It was a griddle. And I stripped some of the rest off the bottom just to see if there are any markings on it. The pitting is so bad, it's got to be at least halfway through the metal, so it's probably going to end up in the scrap bin.
Yeah,
it's not even usable. I mean, it's bad.
Well, hey, I mean, at least you're finding something to do. That's the important part.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these cleaned up real nice. A couple of these are old. You know, I think I talked a couple episodes ago about restoring my grandma's old one.
Sure, yeah.
And I finally did cook some biscuits and cornbread up in that.
Nice.
They were phenomenal.
Good deal. You brought some with you tonight?
No, they're gone.
Screw you.
Well, you were in Florida. Screw you with the nice
warm
weather.
Whatever. Yeah, my mom was cooking, which, by the way...
drinking rum and cokes on a cabana
rum and
in
cokes,
Florida.
Yeah, tiki hut. It's like
I'm sorry I didn't save you some biscuits.
Yeah, 85 degrees outside, and she's cooking me these 5-course meals that are, 8,000 calories and heavy every single time.
And you're complaining why?
I'm not complaining, but I mean, geez, I was down there, and it's...
Yeah, I get it.
But we'll tell you what. This is, switching gears here. This is episode 52.
Yeah?
Yeah, 52. And you said on the last episode, I think you did, or maybe on the Patreon after show on the end of the trail, that
I forgot to post a link.
We should do a little year in review.
I'm for it. I don't have any notes in front of me. I was going to print up something for episode lists and everything we did, and I totally forgot.
I think I got enough in the old noggin that we can work off of this. But let's take a quick break and let's talk about this year.
Sounds good. I need some water anyways.
Go
Ah,
ahead.
spring. It means so many things. Birds, flowers, warmer temperatures, and let's not forget, bugs! Don't let pesky bugs take over your home. Call ABC Home and Commercial Services. They have the solution for your spiders, wasps, box elder bugs, Asian lady beetles, cluster flies, and more. ABC Home and Commercial Services, the best in pests. Call 810-794-5678.
So I got one sort of a quick shout out. I mentioned my buddy Rob a while back. He was helping us do the canopy on the boat. We finished that up last week sometime. Just had a little bit left, finished it up. It looks phenomenal. I don't know if you're still watching or listening to the show, but thanks for all the help. Much appreciated.
Shout out to Rob, whoever the heck you are.
He's a diver and an off-road guy.
Oh, okay.
So this guy builds tube buggy chassis.
I gotcha.
So the guy is an artist with a grinder and a welder. I mean, it's unreal how good. And
cool.
It's incredible. We'll have to get him on here at some point.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah, between the captain and I, we got a lot of work left to do between the two of us. And hopefully there will still be some season left.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting people on the show, in the last year, how many guests have we had?
3, 4?
I know we've had Mr. Chad from...
Did we count the midgets?
Oh, the kids?
Yeah, your offsprings.
Yeah, we've had my kids on for blurbs. We've had Mr. Chad from Quick Draw Brand on maybe 3 times.
Yeah, that's
we spoke to my mom came on and talked about the history of sleds and things like that. Who else? Have we had anybody else in the last year?
I don't remember. Did we talk to Blair, or were we still setting something up with him?
To who?
Or Dan?
No, we didn't.
I thought we had one more.
So 52 episodes.
Oh, 51.
What's that?
This is 52, 51.
Well, okay, so 51 prior episodes. This is episode 52.
So really, we should have done the year in review on the next episode.
Huh?
We'd have a full year in review.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. But
so we done screwed up.
So for those of you who are for those of you who are just listening to us, there might be an audio difference right now.
A little bit.
But for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, there's
a big difference.
There's a big difference. And this is only a sneak peek here. This is not much of anything that you're looking at.
No.
We are currently in what I would like to call thin line.
We're hiding in a basement because we're not supposed to be in groups.
Well, there's that too, yeah. Thin line off-road studio 1.5.
Yeah, 2 works.
I mean,
that works.
Here's the deal. This is not going to be our permanent studio forever.
No. We call this 1.0 because the other location was just temporary.
A kitchen table,
this.
So
this is 1.0.
This is 1.0. Yeah. This is going to be our studio probably for the next year. We're going to be working on the barn where we're going to have
final install.
Yeah, we're going to be able to do videos of working on our rigs and things like that. But
you'll see some changes with this too. This is just kind of threw it together real quick, make it work as best we can.
You're looking at I wish I could give our viewers a 360-degree view. It actually looks much cooler on the other side, but for lighting needs and for a backdrop, we're just looking at one wall of
A little bit of a hack and tap setup tonight.
Yeah. We're going to figure this out as we go along.
Oh, yeah. It works.
I did not. I was going to. I had the intention of, maybe you've looked, maybe producer Andrew can, sign some numbers to us. But I was wondering, I think I know off the top of my head, but I was wondering what was our most popular episode over the last 51 episodes.
I'd probably say, was it the Land Cruiser episode?
I don't think it was. I'm not sure. I unless he can look it up really quickly.
That or the Mahindra one, maybe. I'm just thinking based on the YouTube videos.
I thought it was the International Harvester episode.
Oh, that could be.
Well, at least by my thinking of that, we had the most social media traffic from the International Harvester episode. We had a ton of people commenting it on Twitter. We had people on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Matt down at Bracket Auto, we had him, personally shout out things about it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I don't know.
I don't see
is
a lot
producer
of...
Andrew looking right now? Is that what he's doing? Okay, so he's looking right now.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
So I don't have the logins or anything to see any of the specifics. All I can see is the show stuff.
Personally, I think that was one of the episodes that you were most prepared for too.
Maybe.
I mean, your notes on it were. She
We're both
jailbroke.
staring at the cat.
Yeah. So producer
They have
Andrew
broken containment.
actually we do have a doorway on the studio, but there's no doorknob yet. And producer Andrew taped the door shut, and somehow the cat that he was trying to keep from coming into the studio is here. So
She just ran in there.
that's awesome. She wants nothing to do with us, but she's walked in. But anyways, back to the episodes. In all of the episodes. Was there one that you enjoyed doing the most?
Oh, the XJ one.
The XJ. Now that would have been episode 10. That was way back there. Way back there.
There's that, and there were a couple of the freestyle ones we did that were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I couldn't give you a lot of specifics right now, but
going back, you know what? Wow. I didn't even think about that one. Mr. Andrew says episode 48, the Ford F series episode.
Does it have numbers on it at all?
Now, what's interesting there is episode 48, or the Ford F series thing. When,
that's downloads? Oh, nice.
2020 downloads? 104 downloads. I have no idea.
Thank you to each and every one of you, though.
Thank you. I don't really pay attention to the numbers much anymore.
Yeah.
But through the Museum of Off-Road Adventure, one of our most popular posts that we ever did, I think, was when we did a history of the Ford F Series as well.
I believe it.
So,
I remember that. That one was insane with the reach on that post.
Oh, it's like 58,000.
Yeah.
And I still get notifications every once in a while that somebody has reshared it.
Nice.
So that was
awesome.
interesting.
That one will live for a while, especially in about a year from when that posted out. That coming up in everyone's memories and stuff.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. I've gone back. Let me ask you this. I'm going to interview you for a minute here.
Okay.
What episode? Producer Andrews once again is trying to draw he's got some information here. That was the second
10.
one?
Yep.
That is the top of all time.
Oh, the top of all time is episode 10, the Jeep XJ Cherokee, which means for the last 41 episodes, we've not been doing very good. I don't know.
Well, thanks to all my Jeep family out there for that one.
Yeah, there you go. Problem is, Johnny Orange has a much higher social media following than Keith does here, and he probably shared it everywhere, and that's what happened.
I only shared it a little bit.
Oh, okay. So that's our all-time download episode.
I'm okay with that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask you here, though, is of all the episodes we've done, or maybe I already asked you this. You said the Jeep XJ one, but what episode do you think, not that you necessarily had the most fun with, but what episode do you think was the episode where we became a real show, like a real podcast? Where
episode 1 doesn't count?
Well, okay. I mean, episode 1 does. The one where we started to sound semi-professional. I don't want to say that we even sound professional now, but
Started to? I don't think we're ever going to get there.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean some of the history ones.
Okay.
You know, not the first couple because they're still fumbling our way through it. You know, I thought the Ford one went really well.
That's episode 48.
Yeah, the Cummins one was good. The Toyota, the Land Cruiser one.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Yeah, those are obviously the bigger ones. The Mahindra. I probably learned more about between the Mahindra and the Toyota one.
Okay.
I think I learned the most of those two, just as far as the evolution of those vehicles. So much I didn't know going into them.
Now, it's funny you'd mentioned those, and those are later episodes.
Yeah.
For me...
Honestly, half the reason is I can't remember half the other one.
Well, I went back and I've listened to a couple of our early episodes, and one of the ones where I think our audio quality, and that's a big shout out to producer Andrew there.
Absolutely. Thanks again, sir.
Our audio quality went from being kind of scratchy in the background and whatnot was when we did the SUV Kings episode, which I think was episode 8, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. And that was the first one in my mind where we all of a sudden started to sound like a real show.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that the content was there, but our audio quality and our sound was to the point where it was like, okay. And then I just told you and producer Andrew, it would have been, so this is episode 52. Episode 50. I don't know what we did different. I even messaged him through our group.
I remember seeing that.
I have no idea what happened. For whatever reason, to my ears, episode 50 is like crystal clear. You and I seem to be on point. Not that there's a lot of ums or anything like that.
I've got a possible idea.
What's that?
So episode 50 is probably the first solid week or two you've been off of work, away from power tools. Not kind of hammers going off all day and then listening to an episode, so your ears may have regained some of their
You're
hearing.
thinking that my hearing's getting better.
Potentially. Not necessarily getting better, but recovering because you're not around all the tools and everything all day.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because it took me... I've been laid off now because of the COVID-19 and all that. I think I've been laid off since March 23rd.
Okay.
And... I noticed about a week later, I got to the point where I'm sleeping through the night without being woken up from aches and pains from my hip, back, and knees.
Yeah. You're relaxing.
My body is actually recovering because I work a very physical job every single day. Boom, boom, boom. And I still have aches and pains, but even just sitting here right now, my back has a little pain to it, but not
manageable.
Nowhere near what,
And you were also working on down here earlier, too.
I have not taken any sort of even an aspirin, pain meds, anything like that in over 2 weeks.
Nice. I haven't. Well, I kind of twisted my knee again, so I had since then, but I've been off of anything for a while.
I'm still having the same problems with my right knee, where if I bend down, I can't. When I try to get up, it locks up on me.
There was somebody, I don't remember who. Again, thing I saw on Facebook, talking about the idea of taking a month or 2 weeks. 2 different times in the year and just shutting everything down like this.
Yeah.
Because people are able to relax a little bit. They're spending more time with family, spending more time at home, getting stuff done. And you look at the recovery of nature in so many places, I got to say, I completely agree with them.
Well, that's something they've done in Europe and Latin America countries for many years. I wouldn't disagree with you. I think it's probably not a bad idea, but obviously it has to be planned.
Oh, obviously. This is due to very unfortunate circumstances, obviously. There's any big thing, there's going to be something positive from it.
Yeah.
Not that it's good for everybody, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks. Mm-hmm. There's no way about it. But, there's the silver lining to it is that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, getting back on track, speaking of silver linings and things like that, kind of reminiscing here, the Wheelin podcast started with one mission in mind and completely developed into something new.
Yeah.
the very first thing, as you know, we developed this podcast originally as a side project through the Museum of Off-Road Adventure as a way to get the word out and to talk about off-roading and things like that. And the board, as well as ourselves, when we all discussed it, we said, this would be a good idea if we kept it separate. We could still talk about the museum, which we do all the time.
Absolutely.
But this developed a life of its own, which we never had the intention of doing.
No, definitely not in the beginning.
And that's really cool. And then, of course, through people that contacted you, contacted me, contacted Andrew, that told us we needed to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're on there. Our video quality is just a couple of guys talking to each other. Eventually, maybe we'll do some, builds.
We're going to be playing with this beautiful square right here, too.
That's television. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's not on. I just see a square.
You know what? There you go. There's a little side note. We had a much bigger. This is a green screen. I have my hand over it, which you're going to see.
There's black.
This is a green screen. We had a.
I know it's pissing you off. I'm sorry.
We had a much bigger one planned, and it was not working out. This was Andrew's Plan B. So we might have a bigger one. We're playing around with different ideas. We'll go back to what we were talking about, our year in review here in a second. But our new studio area, this is the basement of the Thin Line Off. This is actually previously where Thin Line Off-Road stored a lot of parts and things like that. And it's been kind of converted to a different space now.
Yeah.
And like I said, if I had a 360 view, you could see we've got some cabinets, some countertops, things like that.
Pile of laundry.
There's still a laundry room in a corner.
Oh yeah.
But it's
come a long way.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah.
And
the cracked multicolor floor is completely hidden. The cracked multicolor painted walls with different height bricks are now hidden nicely.
We are trying to build a convertible space here, something that we can change around as we need it. We
multifunction, multi-use.
So we'll see. We'll see if it works. If it does, great. If not, we'll go back to the old way, sitting at the kitchen table.
Yep.
But, so back to our year in review. We've covered a couple of different things here. Is there an episode that you got the most feedback on? Like, people came and talked to you and said, hey, this is the episode that I loved, or this is the episode that I learned the most, or this is the episode I hated, or whatever.
I mean, I'm trying to remember what the one was. Because I know I've talked about my friend Michael Vinoy a couple times. I'm getting feedback from him on a few of the episodes.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact ones off the top of my head. I know the one, I think it was about the CJs we were talking.
Oh, yeah, that CJ episode.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was his comment was.
Was that episode 7? That was a way back, I think.
7 was the CJ 7.
Okay.
So I thought we had done another one. I don't remember. Oh, the Willie's episode.
Okay.
That's probably the one I got more from in comments from people than any other ones.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see that.
That's and then the one I was talking about, my mom and the commando.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That one we all got feedback on that one because she thought I was there talking to her when she was listening to it.
I've seen that.
Other than that, not. I mean, those are probably the only ones so far.
For me, I'd say the international episode. I got a lot of feedback on. I did have a few people mention the XJ episode, things like that.
Yeah.
So, these are... I don't remember the episode number for the international, but if you're interested in the XJ episode, that's number 10. And
we're going to lose a light here.
Yeah, no. I think it's time for us to take a little break. And then,
good call. Get rid of the cat and go from there.
All right.
Hey, you said we were having Chinese for dinner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is your septic system ready for the spring rains and melting snow? Let the experts at ABC Home and Commercial Services inspect your tank and properly pump it. A little preventative maintenance goes a long way in avoiding a system failure. Call ABC Home and Commercial Services today at 810-794-5678 and they'll be on their way. A septic pump is as easy as ABC. ABC Home and Commercial Services, 810-794-5678. That's 810-794-5678.
Let me ask you another question, John.
Okay.
Has the Wheelin podcast for you opened up any doors or like led you down another road in your personal, professional career that you wouldn't have seen doing before?
I mean, not really yet. You know, I've done some of this kind of stuff before in terms of just video and audio. I mean, not much more than that really yet.
Okay.
So
it has for me in interesting ways. I already occasionally write for one publication about usually automotive history.
Playboy, got it.
Yep, exactly. I've had, last week, I had another publication reach out to me, automotive publication, said,
Nice.
hey, would you be interested in writing on a regular basis for our
Oh, wow.
magazine?
Cool.
And they offered me, a job and some money and this and that.
Cool.
And I says, so I've accepted that.
Very
we're
cool.
still talking about the details of what we're going to write, but that's opened up for me.
That's awesome.
Through Wheelin and through the museum. It was
Nice.
kind of a
Doubleheader.
double
Nice.
header a little bit. I'd also say that, this has helped. Not that I've been a camera shy type of person.
I'm sorry.
I have. Okay, all right, yeah. When we tried some of our early YouTube videos, they were terrible.
The interview.
Yeah, the interview. I had to drink a lot of moonshine to make that thing happen. But I'm still not super comfortable on that.
Yeah.
But even there with audio,
You get there.
I'm getting there with the audio.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a shy person. You know that I'm kind of an
no.
extrovert, but
It's just when you realize somebody's watching or listening.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can be definitely a little intimidating.
Well, that was a thing too. I never had this idea in my life that, okay, I was going to be somebody that someone was going to listen to or watch or anything like that. Now you did. You've been on TV. You've been in shows and things like that. But for me, I started this with you as a,
Garage rat.
well, yeah, but it was. I don't
Little
want to say
more than that.
I don't want to say
No.
it was an advertisement, but it was. We had an ulterior motive of trying to bring.
It was a promotional thing. That was the original idea.
And we've had so much fun with it. I thought this might last 20 or 30 episodes tops, and here we are a year later.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, oh,
I
me
love
too.
it.
Me too.
Something to do every week. It's fun. I have a great time doing
I
it.
have noticed that for you,
Yeah.
that it seems to be something that is very regular and
Oh yeah,
kind of scheduled
It's
in
nice.
your life.
It's nice.
And this has been good for you?
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah. Just something to look forward to get out for a bit.
Yeah, it's been good for me too.
Yeah.
I really haven't had any battles with it or anything like that. To me, I mean, there's been times where we've had creative differences or we've looked at different things, but
it's the nature of two people doing anything though.
yeah, exactly. Well, three really. I mean, we got Andrew who's behind the scenes here. And
That's what makes it work. So everybody's got a difference of opinion. We can discuss it, find what works best, and roll with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I still think that we're very much. It's funny because when you mentioned to me last week and you said this is going to be a year, and I was like, a year? No, we haven't been doing this for a year. But we're still in our infancy.
Oh, yeah.
5 years from now, once we have our 10,000 hours in, that's what they say. It takes 10,000 hours to be a master of something.
10,000 hours, about 45 minutes an episode. So that's like, what, 12,000, 11,000 episodes?
Sure.
Okay.
And the after shows.
Neither of us
and
were
all.
good with math, apparently.
I don't know, man. But I've been happy. Where
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going.
Yeah, it's
I
a
have.
lot of fun. And seeing the improvement for both of us from episode 1 to this, I mean, there's a lot. It's incredible.
Oh yeah. What else has Wheelin done for you?
Give me some stickers for my windshield and spot it. I've talked to a lot more people about it.
Have you run into somebody randomly yet that said, "Hey, I listened to you on the podcast," or "I heard about you"?
Not yet, but I've mentioned it to people in dealings with part sales and all that. And, I'll mention it. I mentioned it to one gentleman who, before he left where I met him with the part, he looked it up. Several minutes later was listening to it. By the time I got home, to send him the message with the link to it.
Nice.
I was 1 mile from my house, if that gives you a sense of time and how quickly he did this. Yeah. So I hope you're still listening. I apologize. I'm blanking out on your name right now.
That wasn't the gentleman that got a hold of me last week that was looking for your information because he thought that I sold him some parts, and I was like, I didn't sell you some XJ parts, dude.
No. That I remember
somebody
talking
else.
about him. Yeah.
Okay.
Friends, I got a message that one.
I've had a couple times now. Once where somebody, and I think I mentioned it on a show. Somebody that I didn't think that listened to off-road stuff or anything like that mentioned to me that he's listened to every single one of our podcasts.
Oh, cool.
And I thought that was really cool.
Very cool.
And then his name's Matt. Shout out to Matt. I'm not going to, throw a last name there because I don't know if he wants me to do that. But, there's that. You know who I'm talking about, Matt, if you're listening. And that's not Matt from Bracket Auto Parts. Bracket Auto Parts, that's another one. I found out he's listening to us.
I didn't know. A friend of mine, Josh, was mentioned he's listening to a few episodes too and that. So that was cool.
Yeah, and and I'm getting these.
Hope you're still listening.
I had a guy get a hold of me through Thin Line Off Road probably 4 or 5 weeks ago and said, I'm looking, I don't remember what he was looking for at this point. He said, I'm looking for this part and blah, blah, blah. And I says, no, it's nothing that I've got. And he says, you got any idea where? And I said, yeah, actually, you could go to here. And he said, oh, by the way, I love the podcast. And I said, really? He says, yeah. He says, I listen to you guys all the time.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
And this guy, I didn't even know who this person is.
Yeah.
So, I guess I should have written down the name. And actually, it was probably only a week ago. I think I was in Florida, so I didn't write down the name. But
yeah.
So that's kind of cool that we're reaching people that we don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
And
so what was it, the one message we got from that Chic guy?
Yeah, well, that was from the
whatever
representative of the Chic. Yeah,
that was cool.
Of the Off-Road Museum. Yeah. We did get another message from there's another gentleman who is in the process, and once again, I'm blanking out on names. I wasn't planning on talking about him on this episode. I could have written it down. We don't have our desk in front of us.
No, it's weird.
As you can see, we're just sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
But, and we may stay with this. In fact, there's something, YouTube watchers. Do you like us having a desk between us with a couple of computers and our notes, or do you like this open platform that we're doing? Let us know, 4x4 Talk, if you'd like. But back to what I was saying, I had, a guy, what were we talking about? I just blanked out on that.
Another guy that reached out to us.
Oh, yeah, the off-road thing.
Yeah.
There's another gentleman out there that is planning on opening an off-road museum. And he reached out to us through the museum page, but he said, hey, I heard about you on the Wheelin podcast. He said, this is what we're doing. And he sent a bunch of pictures, and he's mainly military vehicles. They apparently acquired a large military vehicle collection from somebody.
Very
and they've been
cool.
adding to it over the last couple of years.
Nice.
And they're in the process now of researching nonprofit status and museum status and things like that. And I said, look, if you got any questions, reach
Very
out
cool.
to us. We'd love to help you out.
That's awesome.
We don't need to be the only off-road museum in the world.
Oh, no.
We're the first, but
let's grow it.
if there's museums, dozen museums around the world.
That'd be awesome.
Look at that. There's thousands of car museums around the world, and they're successful, many of them. So, but I don't know. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
What else has come out of this for you?
Just more knowledge on things. Stuff, like I said, I never would have looked anything up about the Land Cruisers had it not been for that.
Okay, yeah.
Learning the history and how influential some of these things are, so much more than I ever realized.
Yeah.
It's just, learning. I'm retaining, wish I could retain a little more of this stuff, but...
I'm in the same boat as you, buddy. As you know, I've got an encyclopedic knowledge for automotive stuff.
Yeah, you've got some crazy knowledge on this stuff, man. What's the whole phrase, you've forgotten more than I'll ever know?
There's that, yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true. But even myself, I'm always learning and I'm always reading. But this project that I started with the Museum of Off-Road Adventure, of course, where I'm doing this day in off-road history, I get caught in so many rabbit holes of information.
Oh, yeah.
Google and Wikipedia and whatever, right? Just different places.
I finally got that one out of my head. But anyways.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And it just, I end up, and that's where I end up with these This Day in Off-Road History posts. A lot of times, because off the top of my head, I've never been a date man. I probably can't tell you.
Don't like the fruit just tastes funky or something?
What's that?
So you're not a date man?
Nice.
I've never tried them. I don't think I'd like them.
I've had them pickled. They're terrible.
Yeah,
but
I like pickles, though.
I know what they're made out of. I can't do pickles.
Cucumbers?
Yes.
I love those.
Anyways.
Salt, pepper, garlic. Anyways, let's stop talking about food. We're both
the
hungry.
date thing, I can't probably tell you a dozen important dates in my mind. I'm not a numbers guy like that.
The only
I'm a
ones you
numbers
need
guy
to remember
otherwise.
are her birthday and your anniversary. And the wedding. That's what a calendar's for.
A week of? Is that close enough?
No.
Oh, okay.
You'd probably agree with me on that one, Andrew.
So
no other dates matter.
Okay, well, I can remember
when you
those.
met, first date, first anniversary, wedding date.
I remember.
Kids' birthdays.
Yeah, our anniversary. I remember. Do you say kids? I know like half the kids' birthdays.
That one, there's some wiggle room.
That's what I'm saying. We got a lot of kids, man. Yeah. So that's when I'll do these research on these things. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this, and then I know a lot about the subject, and I'll add to it, and so that's been something else. But being able to connect, just for example, today. This is in 1917, our recording day here, which is April.
This is not 1917, bro.
No, April what? What's today? 8th, 9th?
The 9th.
9th. April 9th, 1917, for example. I just did This Day in Off-Road History. Or maybe it was for tomorrow. No, it was for today. That's correct.
It will have already been on there after this airs.
Anyways.
Or before this airs.
This is the anniversary of the first long-haul, over-the-road, regular route for a trucking line.
Oh.
A Goodyear Tire Company. You've heard of Goodyear, I'm sure.
Yes. I run them.
They started a trucking route between two of their factories, or two of their production plants, where they were taking supplies back and forth. And that was the first and they had sleeper cabs, Packard trucks. I did a whole thing about it for the Museum of Off-Road Adventure. It was really cool. And it's like, wow, I never even thought about that. Like, when was the first dedicated long-haul line? And that was it. Goodyear Tires is the one that did it.
Very cool.
It's called the Wingfoot Express, by the way.
Ha!
So,
nice.
Yeah, speaking of the Wingfoot Express and, people telling us that we need, like Pegasus, we need to, fly off into the sky right now. I think producer Andrew is telling us that we're running long on this one.
Possibly. Are we getting close to that?
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I forgot.
And you've got your sheet in front of you?
Nope. I done forgot that over that way, so I'm going to just play it by ear and wing it.
All right.
See how it works.
Well, Johnny Orange, you tell us where they can find more information.
Well, if you guys got any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page, facebook.com, and you can just search for 4x4 Talk. Go ahead, ask us any questions, post there. You got a picture of your rig, post it up. Let's see what those look like. When you have a chance, don't forget about us on Patreon. Low as $2 a month, get access to a lot of cool bonus content. Really extend the show an extra little bit there. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit like and subscribe to us so that you get, as we upload all this stuff, all our new content. And I think that's most of it. So thanks for listening and have a good one, everybody.
I need to adjust my balls.